Everyone, well, I'm back in a sort of a way. Just to give you a heads up, I finished up my job about a week or so ago. Um, I'm going to be back doing this pretty much as I was before from next week. No, the week after. Sorry, I've still got 2 weeks before I get back on board. Um, this week I have some major dental work to do in the next few days, and then I'm off to Wollongong, spend a bit of time with my family, and then not this week, not next week, but the week after. So round about the early part of August, I think it will be about the 6th of August, I should be returning. For those who've still come to me for personal readings and still supported me, checked in, sent me love, and all of those things, thank you so much for supporting me during this time. It's been a really tough few months. But anyway, I'm back on board. I'm going to do things very differently this time around. So I'm going to do what's cracking reading daily and follow up with one star sign every day. So it means it'll be 12 days before you may get to hear your own star sign. If you're not an avid astrological person where you go in and read for your aspects of your own sign. What else can I say? So still available for personal readings. I have closed down my website. I nearly closed down Facebook too because of the scamming. I'm trying to restrict how I do things so I can keep the scamming to a minimum. So now all readings that I do will be via email. So I'm going right back to the beginning. So if you need a reading from me, best way to reach me is the aussiegoddess@gmail.com. All right, so I'm going to do what's cracking and possibly a star sign reading today. I see how I feel after doing what's cracking reading. It feels a little strange to be back on board, so let's see how we go. Okay, so we're starting out with the card, which is the card that represents Capricorn. So we have the Devil card coming in. Now, for me, the Devil card is a card that represents lots of things. So it is very much about the ego, extremes. Sometimes it really applies to things that are quite negative. I'm not really sure that there are positive attributes to the Devil card, but what I do like about the Devil card, it is there to represent that something needs adjusting in our lives. That's something we're doing, paying attention to, or doing in an incorrect way needs a little bit of an adjustment. So for me, this is very much about the ego side of ourselves. Maybe we've been a little fixated with something. Maybe there's something we've learned about ourselves we want to put right. But very often comes up to represent things like codependency, narcissism, addiction, those sort of things. So let's see where we're going. That Seven of Swords jumped out at me before. So I think it's very significant at the moment. Very often with the Seven of Swords, we are sort of privy to somebody stealing something or taking something in a very sneaky way. So it often conjures up the idea that somebody is stealing from you. Maybe you're trying to get away with something, especially with the Devil card here. Maybe there's something about yourself that you know you need to pay attention to, but you're trying to avoid that. Sometimes this can be somebody else perhaps doing these things to you. So there is somebody here. Let's have a look. Okay, this is very interesting. So the Three of Cups for me is very much about a third party situation. Always has come up even in personal readings as such. In the traditional sense, it talks about get-togethers, family get-togethers, people coming together. So what I'm feeling here is that somebody is deceiving you, possibly in the family unit, or doing something that they shouldn't be doing. Now, it could be a partner. It could be somebody who's doing something beyond that. But whatever this is happening here, I feel that you have some sort of feeling or some sort of thought or idea that something's going on, but perhaps you haven't had a chance to investigate. Perhaps you've got a trouble with a family member who is always doing the wrong thing, deceiving people. Maybe you can see it happening to another family member or somebody around you, but you're not speaking up and saying something about it here. For some of you, this is definitely in some sort of commitment. There is a chance that this could be happening at work. Let's open that one up too. So you could have seen somebody doing something at work, like stealing something, or I always think of intellectual property, you know, taking something that doesn't belong to them that belongs to the workplace. And I feel like here you may have seen that. You may have seen somebody doing something really wrong here. They may have lied to somebody. They may have been deceitful. But whatever this is, especially with the Hierophant here, makes me feel like for somebody here, I'm talking about the workplace. Let's keep going. Something that's probably happened before. Looks to me like you've either contemplated standing up for something, sticking up for something, saying something, but for some reason here, you have this energy of wanting to avoid it or trying to avoid something here, very much so with that Five of Wands. But the universe is saying to you here, whatever this is, it needs to be sorted out. So I feel like for some of you, this may be a family situation where somebody has done something to somebody else that you know they've done the wrong thing, or it may be at work where somebody's done something, you know, especially with that Seven of Swords, lied or done something really bad, especially with that Devil card, that you know is going on. Now, this could have happened to you directly with that Three of Cups. Absolutely. Could have been somebody else doing that to you. But I feel like here that you've been privy to somebody else doing that, and you're deliberating quite a lot on whether you stand up and say something or whether you just put it aside. And I feel like with that Devil card, it's really hard for you to put aside because you know it's wrong. And deep inside, you want to say something, but maybe you don't want to hurt somebody. Let's just get into the reading. Okay, so I have the Seven of Pentacles coming through with the Page of Wands, the Queen of Swords, and the Tower. All right. I have a feeling for some of you, you're worried about speaking up, either because you're worried about losing a job or you're worried about somebody else that may come down on you. Maybe this person is very, very difficult to deal with. And rather than speak up and deal with the sort of fallout from it, you're holding back. I see the contemplation here. I see the going backwards and forwards and trying to decide whether this is something you need to bring out into the open or not. And it is possibly something you've never had to do before. So for you, it may be very difficult for you to speak up and say something. But you see, this is you're fearing the Tower here. So this is the fear of, you know, maybe my family will be angry and never talk to me again. Maybe my job will give me the sack, if that is the case too. But definitely feeling like it. But the universe is imploring you here. You need to stand up for yourself. You need to speak up. You need to say, you need to get it off your chest, because it's creating this turmoil around you. All right, let's keep going. Yeah, Three of Swords coming through. King of Pentacles, for some of you, it might be a manager. It might be somebody in your family of significance. You've got the Magician here. Whatever this is, it's really eating away at you here. It's really creating a problem for you. Now, it could be for somebody I'm speaking to that you've seen somebody having an affair, or you've seen somebody out and about with somebody. And maybe you don't want to tell somebody because you're worried about losing that friendship. And quite rightly so, and chances pretty good you will. Unfortunately, when we do speak up and say something, people do sort of hold us to account, like we get blamed for things if we've spoken up and said something. But I feel like here, especially with this Magician card, that it's time to speak up. Let's just put some more cards down. I've got the Two of Cups coming through with the Moon card. Yeah, you're hanging on to something. Whatever this is that you're hanging on to, it's creating a lot of inner turmoil here, especially with the Moon, because it sort of makes me feel like you've probably gone through the scenario many, many times trying to work out how to do it the best, what way to do it, whether you should, whether you shouldn't. You may have even gone and spoken to somebody else about this situation and maybe have met with resistance. Maybe somebody else has said, just, go with the flow, mind your business, stay away from it. And it's possible that that is good advice. Sometimes I think, it is good advice to mind your own business and let it unfold in its own time. But there's also a feeling here that whatever's happening to somebody, maybe it could be illegal. It could be that whatever this is, for some of you, this is dealing with an earth sign, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo energy, quite strong here. All right, let me just put another couple of cards on this. Let me just go through the mini read. I just want to put a little bit of a clarification. Something is going on here. You've got the Devil here and you've got the Tower down here. I feel like somebody around you is trying to get away with something. That could be, as I said, to do with work. It could be to do with a marriage. It could be, I don't feel like it's directly about you. I feel like you've seen, heard, or been privy to something that you shouldn't have found out, or that you've seen inadvertently with the Seven of Swords coming through. Whatever it is, I feel like you're going around in circles here trying to make some sort of decision about whether you should speak up. And I feel like with that Ten of Cups there, it's really imperative that you do. But it may be that you've sort of made some sort of decision to sit on it for a while and not say anything. So maybe in some of those scenarios, it would be the right thing to do to sort of stand up and say, hey, I've seen this happening. You may be thinking of reporting it to the police or a lawyer. For others of you, I feel like it's something to do with a relationship, but I don't feel like it's a relationship that you are currently involved in. It feels to me like it's somebody that you're dealing with. I'll just get some more clarification. Okay, so I have the Three of Pentacles coming through with the Nine of Cups. That Ten of Cups coming back around again with the Queen of Cups. All right, it could be somebody that you have around you it looks like it's a female. It really does feel to me like it could be something to do with work, but whatever this is, I feel like at the end of the day, there's something that you stand to gain from speaking up, whether that is freedom from feeling sort of bound by this situation, or whether you're helping somebody by doing that. For example, if you're in a job where somebody's stealing intellectual property and you don't speak up, it could be the downfall of the organization you work for. It could be that serious. But if it's something else that you feel that you need to let go, walk away from, then let go of the thought of having to do it too, because it sort of feels to me like it's quite impacting you. All right, let's read an oracle card and see what Spirit has to say in regards to this. I have ants everywhere in my office. There is no reason for ants to be in my office at all, but they are everywhere, and they're really tiny, weeny, like meat ants. There it is. New romantic cycle begins. Well, I wonder why this has come out for this particular card. New moon in Libra. Give and take could well be the answer to whatever dilemma you're asking about. Compromise may be called for. It's time to start negotiating or even renegotiating. When the new moon in Libra comes up, there's a restart for you and for someone else. A new relationship could be beginning, and if that's the case, the chances are this will be healthy and well-balanced connection. In anything you do after pulling this card, doing it in pairs is advised, such as teaming up with someone in business or in your personal life. So it does feel like you should bring somebody else into this situation. Libra is the sign of relating, and this card suggests that whoever is at the heart of the issue you're addressing is someone who will be open to talking things through. Feel more, think less. A legal matter will go your way. Okay, so I feel like somehow or another here, speaking up is only going to benefit you. So if it is something that you're holding on to, maybe by speaking up, it puts it all aside and you can move on with your life, and perhaps there's some sort of benefit to that. But I'll leave you with your own interpretation, and I will see you tomorrow, and hopefully on Wednesday. I have some operation thing going on tomorrow, so I'm not sure how my mouth will be. Um, so I will see you for sure on Wednesday, but I may see you tomorrow. All right, see ya.